Hello guys and welcome to another iRacing video. Today is the first one in this kind of new journey on iRacing that I'm starting in VRS Sprint. So we're here at Laguna Seca, it's a brand new week, and I'm watching times from this week, and earlier in the day my times were actually competitive enough to be in top split. I'm doing 1:22.6, which is quite slow actually. People have been able to do 1 minute 20s, but weirdly the spread of the splits has been quite large in terms of seconds, even though the iRacing was quite close together and it's quite a short track. But the split that came before this one, this is the 4 PM, the one that was at 2 PM was quite a close split in the end. Now this appears to be top split, maybe, I don't know, maybe it isn't. Division 1 you can see, so quite a few quick people in it. Car number 9, that is Dave Cam. First time I've ever been in a race with him actually. Search him on YouTube. Oh, and Dan Suzuki's in here as well. Oh wow, okay, we've got quite a few streamers in here then. Interesting. We'll see how this one goes. Car number 24, so quite a low number car. So I'm not expecting to be that quick, really. If Dave Cam is in here and Dan Suzuki's in here, they both have around 4K, I believe, if not a little bit more, so...
Exit's clear. Push. Okay, Morgan, we've got 2 laps to get the job done, mate.
So, out we go. We're using the Audi R8 V10. Sounds absolutely amazing, this thing. Same, quite similar sound to the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 as well. Anyway, so out we go, first corner. I'm not that quick round Laguna Seca, I'm just kind of average, so we're going to take it quite easy. I'm probably going to lose iRacing because this is, as I said, it's a lot more competitive in VRS GT Sprint than it is in most other series.
The track temperature is decreasing, it's now 22 Celsius.
Especially considering this is top split, we are going to have some very quick people in here, so I don't think... the aim for this race is basically going to be safe and to pick up positions where people crash and not to crash ourselves. That's kind of the aim. It would be nice if it can turn out we can have some pace and be competitive, but if we can't, then that's the next best thing. I hate this corner. For some reason, I'm not sure if it's the bug, or maybe it's the way that the direction changes, but the car almost feels like it's going, turning left, and then just suddenly goes straight for no reason. Doesn't have anything to do with whether you're on the power or not. Anyway, that angle lap is actually quite good. So we'll see if my main laps can live up to that. Right, braking just past the 4 marker here. Another reason for me getting a bit slower, we are not using the driving line, as you may have noticed. Part of my journey into VRS Sprint, we are no longer using the driving line. It's in an interest for me. Oh, that was close. That's kind of ruined our lap, that has. In an interest, so we just got slightly on the sand there, so this lap has been ruined. Obviously, the bonus is we didn't crash. If we crashed, that would have been incident points, and it would have damaged our car. We would have had to start qualifying again. But luckily, we can't just continue. So, well, yeah. So basically, we're not using. I want to try and get my iRating to accurate. When compared with all the other best Class A and B drivers on iRacing, all the ones that do the VRS Sprint basically. A more lengthy kind of explanation is available in my moving to VRS Sprint video I did a couple of days ago, or a day ago, whenever this video goes out. Right, so this lap is a pretty appalling one in the 1 minute 23s, so not the best.
B13.
But no matter, very good exit actually out of that first corner on this lap though. Hopefully this lap will be a lot more competitive than my last one. Oh, we almost got on the gravel there, but we managed to not lose time and not get an incident point. Right, there you go, at the end of this first sector then, so far this has been a pretty good lap. Hopefully we can keep it up. Oh no, oh that was close, oh that's annoying. Shifted up a little bit too aggressively there. car almost span around. Obviously, managed to save it, but unfortunately, that's meant that lap's gone as well. So there we go. That's a bit annoying. I think we could have. That lap was looking really good there. It's looking to be a new best for myself. But I don't even think we're going to be able to improve on the first time we set now. That really cost us quite a bit of time. That did. All saying that, we've had a really good run through this corner as well. It's such a shame, actually. This lap has been really good. Apart from, so you can see, personal best in first, new best in first sector, new best in second sector, fourth sector, and fifth sector. So it's a really amazing lap, that. Just, oh well, really amazing lap, that. Just that one mistake cost us there. You can see we are a little bit off the pace. Kind of what I feared there. Bit of a shame, looks like Dave Cam's P6, wow, pretty decent. Yeah, bit disappointing there. I think we definitely could have been a second better than that if we hadn't had issues of the car trying to spin out on us there. Bit disappointing. So that lap we did there, if we look at the splits of that lap, you can see, where was it? Oh, was it, oh, I might not be able to find it. The actual in-detail splits. I don't think I will be able to see it. You can see it's a 123.3. Have we got that up? Yeah, there it is. So you can see there, look. We lost 9/10 of a second there. Just in that one sector. Which is a real shame. It could have been a 22.4, which, to be fair, would have still only been P25 rather than P26, but it would have been a lot closer to the pack. You can see what I mean now about me not really being competitive with my iRating. Even though I am a low number in this split anyway, so I'd be expected to finish quite low down. It does appear that this is a bit more of a spread out split than usually in VRS, because I know these top guys have, you know, I mean, car number 9's 4K iRating, so we've probably got some guys in here with 6, 7K. In fact, car 2 I might recognise. Yeah, maybe. But they all have quite high levels of iRating, so for me to be in the same split as them, I'm just going to check. Are any people just not qualifying, or do they make mistakes? So car 17 doesn't have any incidents. 27 doesn't have any, and 12... Okay, 12 did try to qualify because they've got 2 incident points, so they might have messed up qualifying. In terms of this race start, I said, I mean, you know, I'm going to have to suck this up for a couple of weeks as I do more VRS races. My iRating is going to drop, I know that. Judging by my pace, maybe 2,000 iRating, rough pace. Maybe 1,800. I don't want it to drop anything lower than 1,700. 1,700 is that marker where teams on iRacing will stop hiring you. You're considered more average. So I'd like it to be above 1,700. But at the moment, it's 2,700. So we've got quite a bit to drop. Because remember, if you remember back to the start of the season, again, I explained all this in my moving to VRS video. Right at the start of the season, I actually lost about 400 iRating and went down to 2,600. But then decided to go back to doing the SimLab Production Car Challenge, which got it back up to 2,800 where it was. So you can tell it's not just VRS Sprint, it's general GT cars. Really, anything outside of the Mazda MX-5 and Pontiac Solstice and BMW GT4, anything outside of those 3 cars / series, I don't really have any pace. Which is why I've only been doing those series, and obviously oval stuff as well. Do you remember? It's not just... It's only the road side of iRacing this applies to. But, you know, so we're going to have to endure...
That's the end of the session, B26.
The pain for a little teeny bit while my iRating drops to maybe where it is. And then what my hope is, it'll go down. And then as I begin to learn the Audi GT3, as I begin to learn the tracks and, you know, get better racecraft, that's one of the big things about VRS GT Sprint is the racecraft. So once I get better at all of those things, I can then start to improve my iRating again, maybe up to above 2,000, where I think it could be at some point. I think I'd say my natural iRating is maybe 2,300, 2,400, because back when I started iRacing, I did have a bit of a plateau around that mark for a good few weeks before I started doing the SLPCC. So basically, in terms of my iRating, I'm 3,000 in the Pontiac and Mazda, 2,500 in the BMW, and probably 2,000 in GT3s. So that's kind of what I rate myself as, but we'll see what happens. I think it's also because of our opponents. But anyway, here we are on the grid. So much talking. We're actually on the grid. Mostly Audis it will be here, and Ferraris. They are the most popular GT cars. Ferrari because you can use it in the fixed Ferrari, and then the Audi because it is generally accepted as the fastest. Ahead of us, we have got a Mercedes. That's generally considered the easiest GT3 car to drive. However, not many people use it, so who knows? We've got a Lambo up there. I don't know whether we've got any more. Don't see any BMWs anywhere. Anyway, let's get ready to start. We're probably going to be sat at the back for most of this one, unlike those people up there in the 1 minute 20.5s.
Hi, Dan.
I don't know how they do that.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dan.
But we'll see.
Oh, wrong Dave. Awkward.
The air temp is 19
Hey,
Celsius.
Anyway,
the track temp
succeeding
is
in fuel.
22 Celsius.
Away we go. Let's see.
Follow car number 20 in the right column.
Right, so we're going to take it very easy into turn 1. I'm just going to back out of it.
The full formation left?
I'm just going to pull all. I'm just
No,
going
you
to
can park after half a
basically.
lap.
I'm going to basically sit back and chill out.
Thanks, Dan. Always happy to help.
Because I don't want to. I don't really want to mess up people's races behind me that are probably quicker and just didn't qualify. And then on top of that, I don't really want to get involved in a crash. My safety rating has fallen quite a bit because this series was at Imola last week, and I did 2 races at Imola, particularly the second one of which I had quite a bit of incidents. I actually didn't finish too bad. I only lost 50 iRacing. I was actually quicker than a few people in that race in split 3, but sadly, I did have a few incidents. Obviously, at Imola, just running over the curb and things can get you incident points, so it's a little bit close. Right towards the end of the week, I was actually starting to find some pace around Imola, so I'm hoping the same happens here. Eventually, maybe throughout the week, after doing a few more races, I will start to gain pace. Here at Laguna Seca, in terms of off tracks, we're probably talking cutting the corkscrew a little bit too much. And then probably also there's a very easy off track to get on the last corner if you run slightly over the white line on the apex. If you run all the way over that, that is an off track. So it's quite an easy one to get. I'm going to take it very easy heading up here now, because it is the corkscrew, probably one of the craziest corners in motorsport. Well known for me for once I actually got P2
Catch up to car
in a
number
BMW
20.
GT4 race on the grid. I was P2 on the grid, and then on the formation lap I binned it in the corkscrew. I was not happy. My first time ever I qualified on the front row and then did that. It was in my first
Catch up to car number
3
20.
weeks of iRacing, so. Oh, we've got the beamer up there. See a BMW.
Green, let's go, let's
and
go.
I also see that someone's
There's
had
an
damage on the
incident in
formation
turn 11.
lap.
Looks like it's Zimmer.
Right, green flag, obviously. It does appear that people behind me are also sitting back, so I think. Also, yeah, okay, that guy has a damaged rear wing already, so there's quite a bit of damage on these cars already, despite the race only just started. No one's binned it in turn 1, so. We'll wait to the next turn and then wait for someone to bin it there instead.
Well done, Morgan. Good start.
Alright, it's been a pretty clean start actually. Although people are braking for this corner that you're not really supposed to brake for. We have a bit of run on this Mercedes and see if we can use it. I'm just sitting back, to be honest, right now. There's going to be a big crash at the corkscrew. I can almost guarantee that, so.
Yellow flag.
In
Watch
fact,
out.
it looks like someone's binned it here
P4's gone off
already.
in turn 6.
There we go. Oh, we have a Lamborghini that's in the middle of the track, and another car that's in the middle of the track as well, and another one.
They're on the right.
So there's quite a bit of carnage there, isn't there? And we've got more yellow flags here at the corkscrew, but we're okay. Okay, we gained a few positions there for people who are off. I thought it would be at the corkscrew that we'd have the major issues, but it's actually just before that. Oh, Lamborghini braking a bit more than I expected there. Right, there we go. We have survived the first lap at least. We started P26. Where are we now? I'm now P25. So we've gained
spot on.
one spot. And then from here we want to try and improve our pace, our race pace, and see where it takes us. We're going to lose a few spots up here now, because we have an Audi that's all over the back of us. That was one of the ones that got involved in a crash earlier, I believe.
He's on your left side.
He absolutely sent it. That was a bit aggressive, actually. But there we go. That's why I'm not going to fight against these people. They are A, quicker than me, and B, angry that they got a bad start, so we're willing to wreck anybody to get back in the position where they started, or at least as close as is possible. And I want no part of that, let's just say that. As I said, I haven't really got pace in this split, so my job is just to kind of survive the race. Oh, someone's gone off there as well. That car looked pretty wrecked, actually. The wheels on it looked all over the place. So there you go. We're still P25 then. That Audi up there is blocking quite aggressively, actually. He's going to get punted if he's not careful for driving like that. We are actually staying with these guys as well, so it's not like my pace is miles off. It's not like I'm totally, I'm not so slow that I can't compete in top split. I'm just so slow that I can't. It's not like I can't really compete, but it's not like I'm left at the back being lapped within an instant. Oh, I thought that Ferrari got off up there. It went a bit wide. What is that Audi doing? It just went over the gravel to try and gain a position on that Ferrari. That's the guy that barged his way past us, so he's really in a hurry. I can't wait to see his car span off to the side at some point in an accident, because he's being really aggressive.
There's an incident in turn 10. We think it might be Valentin.
Oh, someone else has gone off there as well. And that's a bit of a weird rejoin.
On your right, right's clear.
That was a bit of a weird rejoin, but he didn't get in the way, so it's okay. For now, we're actually up in a position on him as well. It's P24, although I don't think that will stick.
18th.
Oh, that was close. Almost went a teeny bit too wide there. Right, this guy behind is being quite patient, which I'm quite thankful for, really. It's nice when people don't try to barge past you after they've crashed. It's them that's crashed, not you. Run through the corkscrew pretty nicely there. Right, cars ahead are starting to get away from me now the race is getting up to pace.
Morgan, good stuff, keep it coming.
Right, I'm not going to defend here, I'm going to let this guy pass if he wants to. I haven't really got any pace round here. What kind of laps are we setting? This is on race fuel, remember? A 22.9, so that's better than we did in qualifying on 12 litres, and obviously I've got 60 litres now. Behind me is beginning to have enough, so I think I will just be nice in a minute and let them go, because they might fight with the cars ahead and cause an accident if I'm lucky.
Our refueling window will open after 26.
Because I haven't got any pace here, so if I let these guys go,
right side.
If I let these guys go, I can actually.
On your right side's clear.
I can actually follow them. And if they can try and pass other people, then that will be really good for me.
Right side, clear, right side.
So we are now back to 27th place, but if these guys can go and attack those people who were getting away from me, if they can do that for me and cause an accident or something that I can then profit of.
There's an incident
In fact, ta-da! I said it would happen, and there it is. That Mercedes was punted off. So there we go, that is... I said it, and it happened. What did I say, guys? And now I can do what I want, which is to improve my race pace around Laguna Seca and start to learn the track. I have spotted car number 2 on my relative.
There's an incident in turn 6.
Oh, there we go. What did I say, guys? That in fact, that is the Audi that was being really aggressive earlier. No doubt try and make a pass where it couldn't, and as a result ended up spun out. So there we go. It's using tactics. If you're slow and you can't beat people on the racetrack, try and beat them some other way. Let them buy, let them crash, and then profit off the end. And you can see we were P25, and now in a flash we're back to P25. And we don't have any incidents, and no one fought to get past us and crashed. So that strategy paid off. And we're getting some nice clean laps in at Laguna Seca, which is what I want. I want to learn this place.
Should be about 23 minutes of fuel remaining. 2.5 litres per lap.
In terms of
we'll
VRS sprint, a pit stop is needed in this series. And the pit lane entry here at Laguna Seca is difficult, to say the least. It's, oh dear, we've gotten off track. That's a shame. We're not going to go into free then. I would have liked to have gone into free. Also, there's also slower cars pushing everybody back here, and I'm actually catching this train maybe by 1-2 tenths a lap, so I'm not totally out and uncompetitive here. There we go. Gap behind is still 2 seconds. So they're not catching me, that guy. Obviously that is one of the people who, that was that Mercedes. The car behind him then is really quick. I think they had an issue at the start, car 2. So they might make a charge later on. Also, if anyone's wondering what setup I'm using, I've got the one from Craig's setup shop. I'm subscribed to them via Twitch Prime, so I don't have to pay actual money. I've got Twitch Prime via Amazon Prime, and then using that for Craig's setup shop. Right, that car just peeled off into the pits, so there's that.
P19, your last lap time was 1:23.07.
Obviously, they will get us later.
Suzuki
What
is
they're
now
doing,
leading.
obviously, is pitting. We're only 12 minutes into the race, so it seems a bit early to pit. But it's to, you know, if you're stuck behind somebody, I did it in Imola. I was stuck behind someone, pitted, and then came out ahead of them. Although I probably wouldn't have come out ahead of them if they hadn't made a mistake, because I spun out as well. But they made a massive mistake, so now they ended up 30 seconds behind me. But that gave me position. So, okay, these guys up here have decided to fight. And there you go, the Ferrari's gone, the McLaren Ferrari.
Corkscrew.
They're dead. They got quite a bit of damage as well, I think. I mean, these guys are really fighting aggressively. Probably a bit too aggressively in my books, but there we go. I gained a position, so I'm not moaning. And the Lambo comes into the pits as well. Everyone's pitting really early. It's probably because that pit lane entry is so congested that there will be a crash there, almost certainly, before this race is over. So they're getting it out nice and early.
Smooth, the 18.
You need to trail brake into there. That's how you get good position. That's how you get good exit out of there. I'm trying to figure out trading trail braking. It's something that is definitely why I'm slower in GT3 cars. Is, you know, I mean, I've only ever had experience of just pressing the brake. Now I've actually got to manage it properly. It is something that comes with the step up to these things from the Mazdas. Also, the Mazdas don't corner that quickly. They don't really look at their brakes that much, so you can kind of... Oh, that Ferrari up there went a little bit wide. We are actually catching this guy. This was one of the ones that got involved in an incident early on, and we actually let by. Because I thought he was really quick. He was catching us pretty quickly, but I guess maybe he's got a bit of damage, or maybe he's saving fuel, I don't know. Obviously, if I was stuck behind someone, I would be able to save fuel, but me stuck behind someone in VRS sprint? No, that doesn't happen. Well, I'm pretty happy with the position we're in right now, P22. Given my pace is obviously not that awesome.
P19.
I don't know what's up with crew chief, it's always bugged out saying what position you're in. I'm not P19. He gets it wrong practically every time.
We think about 18 minutes of fuel left, 2.5 litres per lap. It looks like we'll need to add 15 litres to get to the end.
Whichever went off there, that would have been alright. Now, in terms of refuelling, I'm getting crew chief to do my refuelling automatically, if anyone's wondering. But a good run out of that corner. This has actually been quite a good lap for us. The Ferrari ahead has pulled away. I think he is quicker than us. I think he was just having a bit of a scrap with some of those other cars, and as a result, it meant that we were closing in on him. Remember that, you know, in general, actually, people's iRacing in this race is better than mine. This lap's been pretty decent, actually. A 1:23.0, so... I mean, it needs to be another second better, maybe. I don't really know how to get that, though. I don't know how to get that second. If I could get that second, then it would be really good. I can begin to pull away from cars.
Yellow flag,
and actually be competitive.
Mate.
Oh, someone's off. What's happened here? We've got a car reversing in the middle of the track, and they've gone absolutely flying.
There's an incident in turn 6.
I just saw a car flying through the air in front of me. Well, there we go. That's 2 free positions for us. I'm surprised that Ferrari didn't see him coming. and get out of the way. I saw him coming with plenty of time. He was in the middle of the track, but obviously he just been put there.
You've got half your fuel
left. My word, it's really actually quite comedic when you see that happen.
What's your problem, man?
When you see that happen, it is really comedic. You just see a car go absolutely flying there. They're not recovering from that. Damage like that, that's a lot of damage. I mean, you've literally been chucked halfway out of the world. Yeah, you've got to love that, haven't you? Welcome to VRS Sprint, everybody.
P17.
And I'm up to P18. Absolutely mad. Obviously, I'm not actually that high up. Some people have obviously just pitted. But that crash there has actually really made sure that we at least gained 2 positions, so I'll take that. That was ridiculous. That was actually hilarious. Turn 5, this is here, isn't it?
Yellow flag, caution.
What's happened now? Oh, we've got a car off. The Sky Tempesta Ferrari, it's got back and going ahead of us, so no issue there.
Should be about 15 minutes of fuel remaining. 2.5 litres per lap. We estimate we're going to need to add 16 litres to get to the end.
Plenty of fuel.
You have 2 incidents.
Plenty of fuel on board, that's good. We've got only 2 incident points so far as well, so pretty good. What's happened to that guy behind us? Car number 25. They were only 2 seconds behind, they're now 14. So I don't know if they went off or had an incident, but there we go. They might be a bit more difficult to pass as they haven't
15.
yet.
You've just done a 123 and 10.
Lap times are pretty stable at 1 minute 23 1s, 1 minute 23 0s. There's that car that crashed into that guy, just disconnected, so he's out. Oh, that's not good, didn't slow down enough there. No off track, but it did cost us quite a bit of time. I am still learning where I can and can't push the limits around Laguna Seca. Obviously, at this point in the stint is where the VRS car kind of feels it's going a bit different. Because obviously, as the tyres wear, they don't wear that much, but they wear a little bit. And obviously, the fuel. We started the race on full fuel. We've now got quite a bit less. Because obviously, you do practically empty the tank in this race before the pit stop. And then I generally, crew chief, I think I've got set to put a few extra litres in on what he thinks we need, just to be safe, because I'd rather not run out of fuel. That last lap was actually quite poor. Remember though, 4/10 of that was that little mistake we made.
123.94. 20 minutes remaining, you've got 20 minutes left.
Yeah, that corner, if you turn tighter,
Morgan, we're halfway home.
And go slower,
12 minutes of fuel remaining.
So much more time. I just need to figure out how to do it all the time properly. Yeah, I'm still learning this circuit, obviously. I've only done a little bit of practice. But I think I'm beginning to get there. Oh, I met that guy that was following us in that Ferrari earlier, car 25. They're now 11 seconds behind, but they're an entire lap or more down. So I don't know what's happened there, unless that's a bug. Sometimes if you blink out while going across the line, it's a very rare bug in which iRacing deletes that lap and puts you a lap down compared to everyone else and where you were before. If that happens, that's not nice, but I've never had it happen to me, but I've seen it happen to people on iRacing's forums. It's a little bit of an annoying bug, but you know, it's iRacing.
Think about 11 minutes of fuel left, 2.5 litres per lap.
I need to learn I can cut that.
15 litres to get to the end.
I need to learn that I can cut that. I just cut that chicane then, not chicane, hairpin. I cut it a teeny bit, and it gave me time. You can see we're into 1 minute 22s now. So, if we can keep doing that, that's really good. Oh, rubbish through there. I was trying to go even tighter, but it didn't work. car 20s out of the pits now, all to a lap down. So I don't know what's happened to all these people who we were battling. They've suddenly lost a lap. So, yeah, who knows what's happened to them, but all of them mean positions for us. Now, in VRS, the general rule is you want to be as close to P15 as possible to gain iRacing. However, we are car 24 in a split with some pretty good drivers, so we can probably lower that expectation slightly. Because obviously, even though we're P18 right now, which is a very good position actually, we're not going to be that position at the end. Because a lot of people have decided to make a surprisingly early pit stop. Okay, I cut that a bit too much that time. So you can't cut it totally, you can only cut it a little bit.
We estimate 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Well, we've still got
5 litres per lap.
Still got quite a large amount of fuel
60
left.
litres to get to the end of the race. 15th place.
So we've still got a very large amount of fuel on
the race.
board. Good to see Dan's doing well. I wonder how Dave Count's faring. Obviously I haven't seen it. It's good when you see other streamers and whatever. I'm professional racing drivers. I was in a server 2 days ago with Christian Lundgaard, Formula 2 driver. I think he came in the top 5 if I remember. But it's good when you see people like that on iRacing. And it does actually happen more often than you think.
Should be about 9 minutes of fuel remaining. 2.5 litres per lap.
Oh,
I think we'll need to add 15 litres to reach the end.
That was close. The car got a bit squirrely under braking there. That was dangerous. If you are a bit aggressive, this Audi is not shy to try and kill you. It will. I'm just going to try and pit as late as possible because the later you pit, the less fuel you need to put in, which means you get a quicker pit stop time. Because obviously the only reason you pit early is because you're stuck behind people. If you're stuck behind people, then pitting a bit early is a good idea, but obviously I'm not stuck behind anyone, I'm just doing...
There's an incident in turn 3.
That Ferrari ahead just lost it. I was really focused on getting out of his way, so I didn't do very well through that corner. Right, there we go, so we've gained another spot there. I think they are a little bit quicker than us though. And that Ferrari does like to over-rotate on me sometimes. It's why I stopped using the Ferrari. I much prefer how the Audi drives to how the Ferrari drove. I do actually really like the Audi. I love how it sounds as well. I've mentioned that before, but it does, I think, sound really good.
Come on, let's put this hard work to good use. Okay, Morgan, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
Oh no, the Ferrari behind us has gone off again.
We think about 7 minutes of fuel left. 2.5 litres per lap. We estimate we're going to need to add 16 litres to get to the end.
Right, so we're going to need to pit soon. We have 14 minutes left to run in the race, so we're over halfway by quite a bit. Can't believe that Ferrari ahead of us went off twice in the same lap. That's so unlucky. Feel sorry for him. Oh, be careful of the gravel there. Right. Just concentrating at the moment, really. There's just kind of... We haven't even got a car to look at now. Obviously, we had that Ferrari for a bit there, but then they're gone, so... No one really to look at anymore to see what kind of... see if we're catching them or not.
We think about 6 minutes of fuel remaining. 2.5 litres per lap. It looks like we'll need to add 16 litres to get to the end.
Right, alright. So I think we're going to pit. I think I'm going to pit this lap because I don't want to pit at the same time as everyone else. Because that pit entry is so tight that there's going to be an accident there. So I don't want to get involved in that. I mean, even though the next car is 13 seconds away, so I would be able to see a pit lane accident before I got there. And that's the idea. If you plan to pit early, if it goes wrong, you can go one lap more. If you plan to go on that lap and you go really close to running out, that's it. You have to pit. You haven't got a choice. So I'm going to pit this time. In fact, we just have the under 10 litres warning there. Fuel pressure low from the Audi. Someone's just disconnected, so something's happened to someone.
Suzuki is now in the lead.
Oh no, oh no, oh no! No! I went the entire race without spinning! Somehow we didn't get an incident point for that.
We've been warned about track limits.
I don't know how I didn't get an incident point. I didn't get a loss of control. Oh, that's really annoying. Never mind, that's probably wiped out all the advantage we had of seeing
the next car is Valentin
and being in clean air, but never mind.
Pit lane speed limit is 56 kilometers per hour. Okay, we'll pull you to the end.
Right, that's 18 litres. 18 litres, so 1 litre more than Crew Chief thinks. Just to make sure. I can't believe that. No damage, but, you know, I just cannot believe it, really. Away we go. I probably should have been revving the engine there to get away good.
We estimate 15 minutes of fuel left.
We're okay on fuel.
2.5 litres
right, we're down
per lap.
to P22 now.
Come on, boys.
There's a car approaching. Don't cross the white line. Watch your mirrors. P16.
So we're down to P22 now, which is a little bit of a shame.
What the fuck are you doing?
Oh, I don't think that spin cost us a position. And we are actually out in a decent pocket of clean air as well, so I'll take that. Let's be careful of cold tyres here. The Ferrari behind us is 9 seconds away, so despite my further spin, they must have had another spin already showing the pits. But yeah, so P22 we're out in. All we've got to hope now is that other people have issues in their pit stop, and if that is the case, then
should be about 14 minutes of fuel remaining. 0.4 litres per lap.
It is just a calm run to the end now, I think. Ensure we stay ahead of that Ferrari. But no, I just over-rotated at the carousel there. Just went a little bit too aggressive into the carousel. I've done it in practice before. Boom. We're off. I thought I could take the Audi for a race, but never mind. Oh wow.
Okay, Morgan, 10 minutes to go. That's 10 minutes left. Come on, keep digging.
I'm sure if Dave Cammy is doing a video on this, I will see myself spinning out in the incidents now, but never mind. Oh well.
P19.
Right, yeah, P22, it has been confirmed. Car ahead is 14 seconds away, car behind is 9 seconds away, so we haven't really got anyone around us.
We think about 13 minutes of fuel remaining. 1.5 litres per lap.
If I hadn't had that spin, I might have been a bit closer to that car 29, that's 14 seconds away. But never mind. I'm okay with P22, to be fair. Is it out of 29, I think? Yeah. So that's probably my one of my best finishes in this series so far. 22 out of 29. My previous best was 22 out of 28. So, you know, if we can finish here, I'm pretty happy. I know it's not high results.
The leader is pitting now.
It's nice to get all the time. But, you know, it doesn't matter, does it? I said, gradually my iRacing will go down doing this, and we'll get into some lower splits where the competition is a bit better. and then we can have some proper fun races. Because I am beginning to really like GTs on iRacing.
B18.
Oh, we have actually got the leader only 4 seconds away from us now.
Sorry, there.
I think that's after their pit stop even, so we'll have to let all those guys by, obviously. A bit disappointing to be lapped, but it's because they're so quick. I bet those guys have, you know, some of them, I think car number 1 might end up having a good 7,000 to 8,000 buy rating, so you expect them to be quick. Oh, that was close, that was close. That was close. Oh, car 27's gone off from P19. They're back on the road now, though. They're back on the road, so no free positions. Unless they haven't made their pit stop yet, but most people would have made their pit stops now. There's only 7 minutes to go, so I think everyone would have made their pit stop.
Should be about 11 minutes of fuel remaining. 1.8 litres per lap.
Oh, how was that off track? I can't believe that's off track.
Okay, Morgan, just cut the track.
That was like, I don't even think I went all the way over. Oh wow. Never mind.
We're looking alright here. Keep your concentration nice and smooth. 16th place, blue flag.
That last lap was pretty slow, actually. Well, I said now, we did actually have that incident where I almost lost control of the car, so that explains it. Right, I'm going to let these guys by now.
Blue flag.
Right, is it here I let them by? No.
Flag.
Coming up on rear.
There you go, let's go out of the way.
Side's clear.
Because I don't really want to. The thing is, normally I would be a bit nicer about letting people go.
Got 10 minutes of fuel remaining.
Coming up on your left. Clear on the left.
Whoa, that guy, honestly, he's really aggressive on that. He was right on it into the corkscrew there. That's annoying. Gap behind's only 4 seconds now. To P23. I would like to try and keep this position if I can. Obviously they're probably a lot faster into the corkscrew than me, those guys, so they will be on me.
B17, we need quali pace every lap now, mate. There might still be chances here.
Our left. Clear left side.
There we go, he's clear. Okay, we have 2.5 seconds to the car behind. No lap traffic. So this is now where I need to really push.
Okay, Morgan, 5 minutes to go, 5 minutes left.
I need to really push here. 2.5 seconds behind. Got to be setting those nice laps. Only 4.5 minutes to go, so not too long. That car behind me is quicker, definitely. That's another off track. That's annoying.
Gone out of track limits. Keep it between the lines.
I can't believe it. 6 incident points. It's not very good. A bit disappointing.
Push. We can get this position.
I need to keep doing a good run through these corners. I need to just make sure that guy behind doesn't close anymore. Also, I'm not going to push absolutely crazy because that risks spinning out, which obviously we don't want. Really good through the corkscrew there. This lap's actually been very nice, looking at my delta down there. Oh, that was close, that was close. Oh. That's a show, I just ruined that amazing lap. I just ruined it. Went a little bit too wide, tried a little bit too hard, and that's allowed the car behind to really close up actually.
That lap was at 123.28.
I really want this P22. It's only about off a P22. But it's still about off a P22. Although through that middle section, I'm considerably quicker than him. I am beginning to learn Laguna Seca a lot more now, so my lap times have become drastically better. That last one was actually a really good lap. I just ruined it.
You have 6 incidents.
Yeah, whatever I do not want more incidents. Through there, really good. This is actually going to be a new best, I think. A 22.7 we did before. This is going to be a 22.4, I think. Yeah, 22.4. So there we go. My lap times are finally beginning to come down to what I'd like them to be.
5 minutes of
It does just take lots of practice. And even there, I need to be into those 21s really. Right, gap behind is still 2 seconds.
We estimate 4 minutes of fuel left. 2.5 litres per lap.
Well, there can't be long left now. In fact, there's only 45 seconds, so the next lap will be the last lap, I think. We've only been lapped by the top 3, which is pretty good, considering how good they are and how short of a track this is. Compared to Imola, it's a good 20 seconds shorter this track, so it's quite a bit shorter than Imola. If this was Imola, they'd still be 8 seconds behind me. Right, and that's
The guy ahead of us is...
The car ahead is actually only 13 seconds ahead, and then another one 14 seconds, so if we hadn't had that spin, maybe we could have been P20. Although I think those guys are quicker than me, to be completely honest. Right, last lap, let's just go a nice clean lap in and finish it off here in P22. Love Imola, what am I on about? Laguna Seca. I love Imola as well. Imola's a great circuit, but Laguna Seca is such a nice track, even though it has the corkscrew, which is a little bit treacherous. It is so fun. I was racing here, I do an iRacing UK round of
That's 2 minutes left.
And they were here a couple of weeks ago. It was so fun. Like, So fun. It's so fun to that.
P2's gone off in turn 1.
And there we go. Across the line, P22.
Looks like P1 has gone off in the Andretti hairpin. Yellow flag.
Maybe not the best position in the world,
22nd place.
Good
Okay,
race day.
we're done.
Next time, not so much pressure, please. I'm sweating here.
I will take that. Absolutely.
Aha, nice one, Dan. Good job, mate. Good job.
Nice race, all. Nice race, Francesco. Nice battle.
There we go.
Good
And
race, guys.
stop.
Carol. Yeah, thanks.
That was fun. That was really good fun. There we are. P22 in the end as well. Out of 29. I'll
Bien
take
joué,
that.
Julien.
There were some people who we were ahead of on genuine pace there.
Merci, merci, toi aussi.
And we probably could have maybe got P20 if we hadn't had that little mistake there. There we go. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. And we will just grab the results. Right, the results are through. I did think I would share the results with you since... well, why not really? Normally, not share the results. Normally, like, pause the recording before the results because sometimes they do take quite a while to come through. Let me know if you do prefer that. It's not really any work to do, so why not? You can see my pace is a little bit off, a 22.4 best lap time. This was top split. If you look, even in split 2, it's not quite on the pace. My qualifying lap would have got me, again, still towards the back of the grid, really. But then split 3, though, my pace is fairly nice. If we're talking my qualifying lap, it's enough to be in the top half. And we're talking my race lap time, a 22.4. You can see we actually come on quite a large way. But even the leader, the winner, only did a 22.3. So I think by the end of that race, we were split 2 levels of iRating. You know, which is pretty good. We only lost 28 iRating. So really impressive. Probably did help that car number 6 there left the race on the first lap. Did they even start? I'm not sure. I don't remember anyone dying on the first lap, so maybe they did. They didn't get any incidents. Oh, they did actually. They got 4 incidents, so that was, yeah, so they must have died on the first lap. But I'm really pleased with that. Only a loss of 28 iRating, which is really not that much. The lowest car in this split, car 29, had 2,500 iRating. Car 1, though, I mean, 5,000 iRating. So those guys were pretty quick, weren't they? So, you know. And we actually gained safety rating as well, despite the 6 incident point, which I really wanted. That's what I like about the longer races. It's another thing that has persuaded me to move over to VRS Sprint. In the Ferrari Sprint Series or the BMW Challenge, literally 4 incidents in a race, 1 car contact, and that's it. 4 incidents, that's it, done. Like, you know, you've lost safety rating. No questions asked in A-class. And obviously, particularly in sprint races where everyone's quite aggressive, it's quite difficult to avoid contact in the first lap. So that's why I've moved over. I'm really enjoying my time in VRS Sprint so far. That's my 3rd race now of this kind of move over to doing 1 series alongside the GTE Endurance. That is the other series I'll be doing. And it's in the interest of making sure that my iRating is as accurate as it can be. Which I think, you know, I mean, it's proved there, actually. We weren't that bad. The guy who we finished just behind, he was actually half a second off our best lap time. And I was doing a good few of those best lap times by the end as well. So we just need to be getting into those 21s, really. That's where I need to be getting into. Maybe not the low 21s, just kind of the higher 21s. I mean, look at that. There you go. 2,800 iRating, 21.9, 21.9, 21.8. That's a little bit higher. So we're probably looking at about a 21.9, 21.8. I'd like to be hitting by the end of the week here at Laguna Seca. Although race pace, race fuel, 22.4. Because even though, you know, that time was actually set before the pit stop. So the tyres were a little bit warm though. Actually, maybe it was set after the pit stop. When was it? Lap 27. Actually, okay, that was after the pit stops. Okay, yeah, so it was quite low fuel, but the tyres would have had 35 minutes of wear on them. The track also would have been a bit more dusty after all the cars running over it and all the accidents and the dust being spread everywhere. It was the guy rating game was definitely helped out. You can see these two here, look. finished 19 laps down. They were the two that went flying. So I think it was definitely helped our iRating by finishing ahead of those guys. But I hope you really enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see more. Well, obviously, you're going to be seeing more VRS Sprint on the channel. It's basically all I'm going to be doing now until the end of the season, and into next season as well, I think. Obviously, there's also the IMSA Sports Car Championship that has GT3s, but in order to do the GT3, because I want to try and stick to one class if possible. Obviously, I know I'm doing the GTE Endurance Series, so I guess swapping over into GTEs wouldn't be too bad either. But like in VRS, where I had to buy the Audi because the Ferrari wasn't very good, if I was to start doing more GTE IMSA stuff, I'd buy the Porsche. And if I was to do IMSA Sports Car in the GT3s, I'd have to buy the Lamborghini, because I think it is better than the BMW overall. And also, the Lamborghini, I assume, is probably quite similar to the Audi, since it has the same engine, and they are both made by Audi. Obviously, Audi own Lamborghini now. I think they've owned them for quite a while, actually. But I hope you guys really enjoyed that one. I'm hoping this drop of iRating will also allow me to be more competitive in other series. I've always wanted to do a lot more racing in the Skip Barber series. However, in Top Split Skippy, I have never been able to compete ever. Even though the setups are fairly fixed in that series and it's quite an easy car to drive. So, you know, this is why I don't mind my iRating going down, is because I know it has to go down. I know I'm not quite the pace of what my iRating says I am, because of how I've just been doing MX-5s against people that aren't as good. You know, quite often in those Mazda races, I was the second or third best car by a mile. All the other people had 1200, 1300 iRating, so that's how I kept gaining pace. So it was kind of a false iRating in a way. So I'm glad to start getting rid of that. But I hope everyone really enjoyed this race. Obviously, it won't just be VRS Sprint on my channel. There will be street stocks. This week they're at Nashville Fairgrounds. I did a race earlier, and it didn't go so well, because somebody was very, very aggressive with pushing me out the way all the time. So we'll see how it goes in that. Also, if I want to get a bit more action in the Mazda, of course, we have got the advanced Mazda MX-5 Cup. Again, I don't know if I've ever actually jumped into this series, but even though it's open setup, VRS did a baseline setup in 2020 Season 4 when the SimLab Production Car Challenge setups from them were free. And that VRS baseline, I've really liked. I think it goes with pretty much every track. It's how I've been able to maintain pace in the Mazda. They do quite a few 45-minute races as well. 25 minutes is also a fair race length, but I would like to try and get into more longer races now. The SLPCC is actually having a 60-minute long race this week, so maybe we'll have to have a little go at that. It's around Okayama as well. Is it the full circuit? Yeah. I quite like Okayama full in the Mazda, so I think we'll have to give it a go at some point this week. Obviously, it's an hour long, so it's a bit different, a little bit more unusual. But, you know, just to show what I mean in terms of the iRating, the best Mazda had 2,400 iRating, 2,000, and then just the next one down, 2,000 iRating, and then if you go down a bit more, it's less than 2,000. We're starting to talk into levels, you know, I mean, okay, so this is my example. So the strength of field for this SLPCC race, 1,600. So, and that was top split, so that's the highest it could have been. VRS, 3,387. 3.4k, pretty much. That's why. But there we go. Hope everyone really enjoyed that one. And yeah, it was good to see Dave Cow in the race and Dan Suzuki as well. Both of them way quicker than me, as you'd expect. I'm sure there might be some other quick names in here that I haven't recognised. But there we go. Hope everyone will really recognise what I'm about. Really enjoyed this race. Hope to see you in the next one. And bye-bye.